The Ringer did a thing. I for sure didn't read it. I didn't have 3 hours to read all those extra words. That said this is going to be the most wide open Best Picture race in years, and the graphic for it was Rami Malek.
Oh, God.
I was like, wow, was he in something else?
I do agree. Is Mr. Robot a movie this year?
Brunch. Hit it, boys.
Peter, I'm glad to see that you also survived.
Survived our mountain trip?
No. One could never really survive that mountain trip. We could only grow from it. We were reborn.
It was the mountain between us.
Yes. Not that bad a movie. That
I
movie really
like
just disintegrated. But I'm glad that you survived the attack.
The attack on...
The attack from Gillette.
The attack from Gillette. Oh,
we are... I don't think we've really pulled back the curtain on this podcast. We are two men who do this podcast. And men were ruthlessly attacked by Gillette, and men are fighting back. They're taking a stand.
I thought you meant the attack on the Los Angeles Chargers at Gillette this weekend.
It's not an attack if you go... That's like the masturbation version of an attack. They went and they attacked themselves all over the field. They played 7 DBs the whole first half, just... didn't touch Tom Brady, didn't cover his running backs. That's not an issue at all. Right. And that sucked because 10 seconds into the game, I was like, I changed my mind. I changed my pick. Obviously.
You spent 7 days being like, Chargers might do it. Chargers might do it. And then 30 seconds in the game, you're like, ooh,
you're like,
shit.
No. Well, the Chargers scored in their first drive, and I was like, okay, I was looking for a shootout really forever. Saturday, I was watching the games with some friends. I was screaming about lack of shootout. In the group text, every time there was a sniff of a shootout, people were sending the Michael Scott. So I wanted a shootout. Didn't get the shootout. Chargers, awful. I did think it was funny that everyone was like, oh, see? Phillip Rivers, loser. What did Phillip Rivers do wrong? He was a baby, but whatever. Tom Brady's a baby.
Oh yeah, he was a huge baby. I made a great comparison. I said Phillip Rivers lineman block like the racist guy from Remember the Titans, the racist lineman.
Yes,
it's just oops,
yeah,
missed the fucking assignment.
So many players who are on the Chargers who are good were really bad. Not only did they not cover the Patriots running backs, but Desmond King, who was supposed to take away Julian Edelman, he sucked both in coverage and in special teams. The one time in the Patriots' first 5 drives that they didn't score a touchdown, he muffed the punt, gave the ball back to them, they scored another touchdown. Hilarious. Anyway, not the attack on the Chargers, because that wasn't an attack on the Chargers. Chargers just laid down. Very disappointed. Phil Rivers, still the GOAT, though. Jury's still out on whether or not he's the greatest. It's not set in stone that he's not. Men were very hurt by the campaign from Gillette. Did you see it?
I did see it, yeah. And so basically, if you haven't seen it, the campaign is basically hey, men, stop being assholes.
Right. It's hey, there are some things that men do that if they didn't do them, they'd be better, and everybody else would be better off for it. And guys saw that, and they were like, oh, come on. Oh, well, what do you... I want to be like, dude, what in that video were you come on, let me keep doing that.
What are you trying to protect?
Yeah.
It was
they're
grown
chasing
men,
a little boy.
It was grown men watching children fight like it's a fucking little human cockfighting thing. And they're like, are you you really want that?
That's ruining your day that could potentially not happen. They're it's
God
bullying.
Forbid if adults cannot watch little children beat the shit out of each other on their front lawn.
Well, there's two things. It's either that somehow guys saw that video and there were things in it that they want to keep doing, which as an adult man, all of those catcall. I discussed catcalling recently with someone. I think accidentally I realized I catcall my coworker Phil Perry a lot, but I for sure don't catcall. I don't think I've ever catcalled a girl. I don't think I can't imagine a girl walking by me and me being like, shake that thing. I'm not gonna do that. That's right. That would be so awkward and rude and weird. That's a lot of the things that's guys, don't do this. Like, I'm not saying that I haven't done any of them. Like obviously, a lot of the stuff that they were showing in that video of, like, youths being idiots.
Yeah.
A lot of, like, kids do dumb shit. But the thing is, what that video is saying, instead of saying boys will be boys, stop it right there.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, you know, you don't have to do that. And you're actually not even supposed to do that. So bad job. Don't do that again. Maybe a lot of stuff would be corrected that way. So either adult men are watching that and are upset that they don't get to do some of those things anymore, which that's some weird nostalgia they've got going on. Or they're just overwhelmed and sick of everybody piling on and saying, like every few days there's a, hey men, and another thing, don't do this. The reason there's a new one every few days is because there's a ton of them.
And it's been
for
a while.
years, and for years they just didn't point out any of them.
I mean, I sort of get it from that sense, like why you'd have that reaction where it's like, all right, enough. But it's like, for the Gillette ad, it's targeting all the right things, and it's not being like, hey, all men are bad.
Right.
All men are trash. It's like, hey, here are some things that we shouldn't be doing.
This is a good man. This is a bad man.
Yeah.
But
I didn't realize that people were going in on that. I hadn't seen like many negative reactions.
I saw the
I didn't pay attention.
video. I saw that a sponsored trend was the best a man can be, and I was like, ooh, I know exactly what this is going to be. I know exactly what the reaction's going to be. Let's party. I clicked on it, watched the video. A lot of the hashtags were like, or a lot of the tweets, the top tweets I saw in the hashtag, actually all of the ones I saw were positive. It was like, oh man, like having grown up in the closet, like this made me emotional, blah blah. Like a lot of like good things, like this. You guys are sending a good message here. But then today, I started to see people reacting to the people who were angry at it, and I knew that was going to happen. I knew, of
course.
I do think that there's like a don't dunk on idiots element of this. Like when, like I saw one time somebody, one of my friends tweeted, "How come?" Wait, really? There's a hashtag White Lives Matter hashtag, and I was like, "Yo, you just kept that hashtag going by using that. Like, it's don't bring light to just really stupid small stuff. Let it die because those people are idiots."
Yeah, I mean, I think just like overall, people should be less thirsty to fight online.
Yeah,
because there are plenty of reasons to fight and be angry online. I just need to stop seeking them out. If you want to fight, just wait like 5 minutes and there'll be a worthy cause. You don't have to seek one out.
That is my thing with so many issues and conflicts that are presented. Like I always say, like, if you want to be mad at me for something, then just wait 5 minutes. If you want to think that I fucked something up, wait 5 minutes and you'll find, and I will really fuck something up. The seeking it out thing doesn't need to happen, which brings us to our next topic of conversation. Every few days, I tweet Greta Van Fleet sucks just to see kind of what shakes out. And now I'm getting bites, and I have no idea why I did it.
Yeah, I mean, you have successfully. I'm surprised it's taken this long, but you have successfully
I've been kicking that nest for a while.
you were the kid in My Girl who just keeps kicking the beehive, and then just one day they killed you.
Except instead of the bees going bzz, they're going,
Mama, I'm the king pong player. So, yeah, you've successfully infiltrated Greta Van Fleet hive.
I think there's only like 6 people.
I know.
They all have the same picture of the same
so
guy
sad.
from Greta Van Fleet. One of them said like, the first like real insult that was lobbed my way. One of my pals who I used to work with now works in Pittsburgh, Tim Benz, awesome dude. He really likes Greta Van Fleet. So
Not an awesome dude.
It's weird when you say something that you know is going to upset someone you like, but you're like,
gotta do it.
I've got more than one follower. This is not for you. This is for other people to spread to the people in their lives that like Greta Van Fleet so they can have conflicts with their friends, not so I can. But he came back at me with like, oh, let me guess, you'd rather some band with like fedoras and bongos and blah, blah. And it was just like, it was more of a cliche than the actual cliche of like fedora wearing bands and stuff like that. So I got into it with him a little bit. And I think that's maybe what like woke up the hive, because then a day later I got like the usual stuff that you get when people who don't know you are mad at you on Twitter. A very common one. This happens every time you like wake up a hive. They say, this guy's just mad because he's got a blue check mark, but no one knows who he is. That would be such a specific thing to be mad about. But it's like, but people say that about like I've had Antonov stands say that about me. I've seen people say it about you. It's why? How does that become the go-to Twitter insult?
Yeah, and it's hilarious too, because like it's always people that like have less followers than you, and it's like I know that's like not like a metric to judge things
the
by,
last
but
thing
like
I care about legitimately are like followers, or clout, or anything.
I mean,
I'm there
you've proved it.
Yes, right. Like I am there to give you a bad time.
If you did care about your follower count, your
I wouldn't be
approach to
sending Greta
Twitter
Van Fleet sucks every 5 days.
Yeah, but I just think that's funny that like those people are like, oh, nobody knows who this guy is. It's like, well,
it's like, so if the goal is to be famous,
you don't know who he is.
You must be miserable.
I mean,
people did. I retweeted
it is funny
that.
when people like when they don't know somebody, and they're just like, nobody knows who this person is.
Yeah. So I retweeted that, and there's like a very, very, very small subsection of social media. I think I've talked about it with like my Instagram comments. People who ironically like stan, like not me, but like the Brave Dave persona, who like act like, oh no, this like to the people who are like, no one knows who this guy is. Like people were responding like, actually he's the most famous person like in Massachusetts and blah blah. Like he's very, very famous. When
very brave.
In reality, like we're all making fun of me here, but it's
pretty great.
I think
it's nice little reinforcements to have in your corner,
right? To know that like there's like a fake me that doesn't exist that people are telling other people, like,
and then it's gonna make them question like their who they're coming at.
Like, oh, you don't know who Brave Dave is? Ooh, you better watch out. So,
congrats to you. This is a big achievement unlocked.
Yeah,
you've infiltrated the GV.
Oh God,
GV bloop.
They're so... I have so many questions for them, but I also just want to give it up because I really need to devote less of my brain to Greta Van Fleet. Like, I came in here, I had that stupid fucking Highway tune stuck in my head, and now we've been singing it the whole day.
Yeah. I do love, though, when there's, like, shitty things that have devout followings from, like, small amounts of people.
Jack Antonoff.
Obviously, like, I mean, people fucking love Jack Antonoff. People love Greta Van Fleet. But I do love that, like, there's a Twitter hive of Greta Van Fleet that doesn't appear to be very large, but, like, very devoted. It's, like, I feel like that's, like, people who are devout, like, NCIS fans.
Oh.
It's, like, this thing is clearly successful, probably not that good, but people fucking love it, and they will go to war for it.
So,
like, Kevin Can Wait.
Yeah. Oh, the Kevin Can Wait guy. What do you think happened to that guy? Did that guy... I don't think I muted him. I may have. The Kevin Can Wait guy?
I don't know.
They canceled Kevin Can Wait,
yeah,
didn't
so
they?
I think maybe he just
I tweeted that
off.
guy constantly saying, hey, they just canceled Kevin Can Wait. I told that guy so many times that they canceled Kevin Can Wait. And then like 2 days later, he'd be like, no, they didn't.
That kind of makes me sad that guy hasn't been heard from since Kevin Can Wait was canceled. It makes me think that he just like very defeatedly logged off.
You know what he went to do? Go have masculine sex.
Oh,
with
right.
capital M, capital S.
That's right.
Goals.
People at home, you might notice that we are back in the studio today.
Back from the mountain.
Back from the mountaintop. I felt like last episode was sort of a good thing for us and for our listeners. It was sort of like an audio heat check. It's like, hey, you know what? This is how good you've had it for so long.
Yes.
And here's what it could be.
Because
Be thankful.
When we first started going, I would listen to other podcasts, and I'm like, man, it is so easy to sound good. It is so easy to sound good, folks. And if you want, I'll tell you right now, in case you're trying to start a podcast, 2 dynamic mics, any sort of interface, and just bam.
Plug and go.
Easy. It's so easy to sound good. So, like, I remember in the early days of Pardon My Take, I would listen to it, and I was like, I knew that like a lot of the charm of Barstool back then was like rough around the edges. But I was like, this is incredible that they like one of the smartest people in the world, like PFT commenter, can't.
best and like one of the biggest podcasts.
Oh yeah,
in sports. They were just like, nah, this is fine.
Right. What? But I mean, I listened to it all the time, so I was going along with it. But it is so easy to sound good as a podcast. So we hot tub affected our sound.
Yeah, we did.
Our sound was really good. People were used to a good sound, so we jumped in the pool, got ourselves cold. Now we're back in the hot tub, all hot again.
That's right.
Got that hot sound.
Good to be back here. We've got some stuff coming up that we're very excited about, but we're gonna throw some blankets over it, and it's gonna be revealed at some point in time.
You can't even tease that. It's too early to tease that we're gonna tease something.
You don't even know what I'm talking about, though. I could be talking about
future
anything.
episodes.
Yeah, maybe.
We've got big announcement. Brunch is not canceled. We have got. Let me tell you, if you like episodes, get ready. Because we've got more of them coming.
But still one per week because we're not committing.
Still, yeah, nothing more than that. Please pay us money on Patreon.
Yes, yeah, please do that. Patreon.com/listenerbrunch. Just give us money. How's my New Year's resolution going, you ask?
Yeah, I did have that.
Pretty good, actually. I'm at 11 movies. It's the 14
Oh, you're
days.
smoked. You are so done.
I'm not.
It's Oscar season, and you're not over one per day. That is not good.
Yeah, but that's because I've seen everything. Like once the Oscar,
you're going to be watching Focus so much.
No, man. Once the Oscars, the noms officially come out, I think it's like next week.
Yep.
Once they come out, I'll have my list of movies that I need to see. I got my HBO watch list. I've got my Showtime watch list. A lot of good movies on Showtime, by the way. Sneaky little collection there. Once hockey season's over and I got nothing to do in the summer, it's all over. It's all over for you, boy.
I've been checking them off pretty liberally. I'm actually starting to group the movies that I've seen that I think have a chance of
sneaking into nods
of Best Picture. So, like you see right here, I'm starting to group them. Some I'm not sure about, and I'm going to re-watch a few of them. I'll just give a quick little rundown.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to do that.
In the excellent category, I have The Favorite, which is number one. If Beale Street Could Talk is probably between very good and excellent for me. And then I've got a very big category of very good, which in no particular order, BlacKkKlansman, Green Book, A Star is Born, Black Panther, Crazy Rich Asians, good, Bohemian Rhapsody, terrible. But I do want there to be, I'm trying to come up with like excellent, very good, good, fine, bad, terrible.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to do it.
I don't think that, I think it's good that there's no fine, there's no bad. There's only one movie that even spans fine, bad, terrible. And I mean, it's the worst movie I've seen, if it is nominated, which I'm assuming it will be, it'll be the worst movie I've seen nominated since I started watching movies 3 years ago.
Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to get nominated. I would be very happy if it didn't. I'm not totally sold on it getting nominated.
I saw The Ringer did a thing. I for sure didn't read it. I didn't have 3 hours to read all those extra words. Edit, people. That said this is going to be the most wide open Best Picture race in years, and the graphic for it was Rami Malek.
Oh, God.
I was like, wow, was he in something else?
I do agree. Is Mr. Robot a movie this year? No, I agree with you. The Favorite is my number one right now. I would put. Where did you put? Can You Ever Forgive Me? You have that in there?
I did.
That would be excellent. That would be in the excellent category.
Yeah, I'd put that. I'd put that in very good.
I think I would have that in excellent, and I would put. I don't know if A Star is Born would make it into
same. So that the biggest on the fence one for me is
it's in between
A
very
Star
good and
is Born.
excellent.
Oh no, I have it between good and very good.
No, I would have it between very good and excellent. We'll talk about this because we're gonna review If Beale Street Could Talk today. I would not put it I think I might put it at good.
Yeah, people didn't like it. I really liked it, but people didn't. So I'm in the minority.
And here's I've got a little bit of a list myself. You haven't seen Roma, have you? I saw Roma.
No, because it's on Netflix, and they say you're supposed to see it in theaters.
Oh yeah, we did talk about this last week.
Did you do it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't crazy about it. I definitely wasn't crazy about it. It had some very cool technical aspects, but at this point, I would put it at like good to lower good tier. But I think that's going to sneak into the Best Picture category noms. What else? Saw Death of Stalin, finally. Stalin. It was very funny. It was very funny, but it sort of like felt like something was missing to me. And I know that's been sort of gotten some Oscar buzz as well. I don't know how I'd feel about that sneaking into a Best Picture nom. It wasn't that good. I don't think.
I still need to see Roma. I want to see that Ben is Back movie, but it's not. It hasn't been the humdinger that people thought it was going to be.
Did people really think that it was going to be a humdinger? I mean, Lucas Hedges is great. Julia Roberts that's a pretty big 1-2 punch there at the front of it. But I don't know.
There's a lot of addiction movies coming out this year. I mean, last year was fucking things you're not supposed to fuck movies. This year is
because Steve
putting
Carell
things
and,
you're not supposed
Timothée
to.
Chalamet. Also had that one.
Beautiful Boy.
Beautiful Boy. Yeah. Lucas Hedges' dad, I believe, directed Ben is Back.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Do you know that the Richard Linklater's daughter was in Boyhood? That's the girl.
I did know that.
Her dad directed that movie.
Yep.
I'm going to direct y'all to Robinhood. It's an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
And cryptos, all with just a little bit of commission. Just kidding. Limited time only. Actually, permanent time. Commission free. No commission. I sent you on a wild goose chase. They start to make financial services work for everyone, not just the wealthy. They got a non-intimidating way for stock market newcomers to invest for the first time with true confidence. It's simple and intuitive. Got a clear design with data presented in an easy-to-digest way. So, here are the values of the Robinhood app. You got no commission fees. That's huge because other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade. Robinhood doesn't charge commission fees. You can trade stocks and keep all of your profits. It's very easy to use. The web platform also lets you view stock collections, such as 100 most popular, sectors like entertainment and social media, curated categories like female CEOs. Female there was used as an adjective, not as a noun, so shouts out to Robinhood, non-problematic use of females, and analyst ratings of buy, hold, sell for every stock. You learn it by doing. It's super intuitive. You learn how to invest as you build your portfolio. You discover new stocks and track favorite companies with a personalized newsfeed, customized notifications for price movement so you never miss the right moment to invest. Now, Robinhood is giving listeners free stock such as Ford, Apple, Sprint, whatever, to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at brunch.robinhood.com. That's brunch.robinhood.com. I am not mentioning any of the things that it is asking me to not mention.
Good for you. We finally did it.
Stick to the script.
There you go. What do you want to do first? We got Vice. We got If Beale Street Could Talk.
Tell you what, I'm going to sneak in with a third little option and just tell you that this is a week of Firefest movie wars, Firefest documentary wars. Netflix was saying that they had theirs coming. It was supposed to be released Friday. Hulu had one in the works as well, and Hulu just did a nice dick move, dropped theirs on Monday, and it has... the whole thing is done with the guy who created Firefest, so it
automatically
has,
better.
Yeah, because he's not in the other one. The other one is done by Fuck Jerry, whom Firefest hired to do their social media, but the Hulu documentary has a guy who quit Fuck Jerry after it and was in charge of a lot of it. So I don't know. I'm eager to see the Netflix one, but I watched the Hulu one and it was pretty solid.
Give me a quick little rundown. I'll probably watch it at some point, but I want to know what's the juicy stuff in there.
It was just unbelievably irresponsible. It was this 25-year-old guy who was just sleazy as hell. He basically kept stealing and plugging holes in all of his business endeavors to just try to kick the can down the road. He would have these events where there's a former employee from his previous company that's like, oh, listen to how this guy operated. He would have events where he would say that he was like auctioning off tickets to Hamilton, and he'd put like 200 up for auction, and they'd be like, yo, we know you don't have 200 tickets for auction. Should we still be auctioning these off? And he's like, yeah. And then like last minute he would go on StubHub and buy tickets for Hamilton to give to the people who bought them. Then he would have an auction for like Beyonce tickets to help pay for all the money that he just spent on the Hamilton tickets. And he would just keep doing like,
what?
He was just like, just insane. He was, somebody said, and quite accurately, like, this business was Entertainment 720. Like, they didn't do anything, but their thing was, like, we're in business. And so the planning for it was just hilariously irresponsible. Like, you really have to see it to believe it. They put stuff on sale, and they, like, did this, their marketing blitz and everything without knowing where it was going to be, without having an island picked out, without just doing anything. They're like, we'll put this in motion. Meanwhile, it's like 4 months away, and the best guy in it is there are two good guys in it. There's a venture capitalist who was kind of following it from the beginning, and like very quickly he was like, oh, this isn't going to work. So then he really started following it, and he made a Twitter account that would like respond to everything Firefest tweeted and like ask questions that people would see and be like, huh, yeah, that is a good question. So that guy was great. The other one was a bartender from the Bahamas who they really relied on for like insight and, hey, you think we'd be able to have it at this place? You think we'd be able to do it here?
Yeah.
And the whole time this bartender was like, they told me the idea, and I was like, just so you know, like that won't work. And then they came back a month later, and they were like, yo, we told you we'd be back. It's happening. And they would have these parties. There is a video of Ja Rule doing
No way.
Yep.
No
Ja
way.
Rule doing here's to living like movie stars, partying like rock stars, and fucking like porn stars. And
in 2016,
right.
Was it?
So this is all at like a dinner down there in the Bahamas, and everyone's like screaming, hooting, and hollering. And they cut to the bartender guy, and he goes, at that point, I stood up. I said, he doesn't speak great English. He said, can I have a moment of silence? He said, could I please have a moment? And they said, yes. And he said, let's eat. Let's drink. Let's have a great night. Like, if there's someone here that you're trying to shtup, do whatever you've got to do. Tomorrow, we've got to get to work. We have set an unrealistic goal. This is an unattainable thing. So we can keep having these celebrations that we're going to have a lot of fun, but we have to like hire an event planner or whatever at some point. And they were like, they all laughed at him. And
God.
There are like analysts in it that are like, if there was even one person who had planned a small birthday party, they could have said, this is unfeasible, and here's why, for a million reasons. But they would go down there and celebrate they were going to have this thing, and like the bartender would keep saying to them, like, hey man, now it's 2 months away, you still don't know where it's going to be, you still haven't done anything, and they'd say, oh, let's go jet skiing, and they just kept pushing it off. Eventually, they finally, they bought booze for it, and it was $2 million worth of booze, and they cut to the bartender, he goes, do you know what duty is in the Bahamas? That's $900,000 of tax to buy $2 million worth of booze in the Bahamas. So they immediately ran out of money. And they just kept doing like fake wire transfers, like all sorts of fraud. It was incredible. Like, I'm probably going to watch it again because it was blowing my mind. I got home from work last night, took a sleeping aid, and put it on. And I was like, I'll fall asleep to it. And I watched the whole thing because it was just unbelievable.
How long is it?
Hour and a half.
Okay, that's doable.
And that
guy's going to prison, right?
He's in prison for 6 years. Yeah,
really? Okay.
Leading up to it, when it gets to the final week, it's showing footage of like 5 days left, and it says it like in the middle of the screen, like iMovie style.
Yeah.
Next 4 days left, it's a little bigger. Next like 3 days left, and like the font is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it's like 1 day left, and it is basically what it looked like when people showed up, except the night before there was a monsoon the night before.
Yes.
So the little work that they did do, they didn't even get an island, dude. They got it was like a gravel pit. Yeah. And they were trying to they were like hiring workers to like dump sand on it. It was incredible. And of course none of those guys ended up getting paid.
Yeah, I know.
And
oh my god.
They're like, we were working throughout the night, like trying to fucking like dump sand somewhere. Meanwhile, like the only like Blink-182, because I think that was what the first people started to hear of Firefest was when Blink-182 was like, yeah, we're not gonna go to this, sorry. And everyone was like, huh, why? And then the next day, like there was some really good footage of people there, like crying, freaking out. That's awesome. They hired this planner with like I think 4 months left to try to really tie it all together. And when people finally and this guy just had no fucking shot. He was like, this is ridiculous. When people showed up, there's just a bunch of tents and there's like nothing else. So the guy,
did they have like ham and cheese sandwiches?
Yeah.
And shit?
The guy really quickly on the fly like worked up a system where he could assign tents to everybody, and he had them make a line. It was like, all right, come to me, and like we can check you in, and that way everything's documented and it's safe, blah blah. And like 20 minutes into it, the guy who created the festival, this 25-year-old, like I feel bad for this guy. He's obviously
the guy who created it,
but he's such an idiot. He stands up on like this like wooden plank and is like, "Okay, everybody, here's what it's like when what's his face when Mr. Brown in the Diversity Day episode of The Office is like, all right, so here's what we're gonna do," and he starts to say it, and then like 3 seconds into it, Michael goes, here's what we're going to do. So, like, this guy is, like, finally starting to get under control for a second. And this guy's like, hey, does anybody have any questions? And they're like, yeah, what do we fucking do, man? And he started telling people, like, just take any tent.
Oh, my
So
God.
now, like, in addition to all the other issues that they had, like, now it just became a free-for-all where everyone's just, like, running and trying to find tents. There were no mattresses in the tents. They were all just stacked on the side of the road. So people were just dragging the mattresses. It was
hell yeah.
It's like I really recommend it. I'm gonna watch the Netflix one too because I think I can't get enough of this content.
Is the 25-year-old in prison? He's on the Hulu one.
Yeah.
What are they interviewing him in prison, or was this before he went to prison?
That's a good question. I don't know. He's not. He's in a room, like not in prison for it, but they don't make him look good at all.
Well,
I have no idea why he agreed to.
I would assume that it would be hard to make that guy look good.
Yeah, they were. There were some really, really just like unbelievable parts, and all these people that were like planning it with him, they were like, "Yeah, this guy was an absolute idiot." They made him. They made the fuck Jerry guys who ran like the social media marketing for it. They made them. You can like filter out swears on your comments, so you can make it so if someone writes like "fuck you" on one of your things, it doesn't show up. They made them add filters that filtered out fraud, scam, flights, because people were like, "Hey, I booked my flights and I haven't gotten anything, like any confirmation. What's going on?" People kept asking these questions, so they had to use like the swear filter to hide that stuff. It got so bad. One of the words that they had them filter out was festival.
Oh my
So basically, if you commented, hey, remember the bar that we were at in Atlanta that the Touch Tunes like had everything blocked? Yeah. It was like that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So highly recommend it. It's insane.
Speaking of movies that don't make somebody look good, we saw Vice.
Yeah,
certainly
Vice
doesn't make Dick Cheney look good. But before that,
but it does make everybody else look bad.
That's true. That's true. Before that, got a nice little read here. Today's episode is brought to you by HelloFresh. What is HelloFresh? It's a meal kit delivery service that shops, plans, and delivers step-by-step recipes and pre-measured ingredients so you can just cook, eat, and enjoy. HelloFresh is enjoyable, easy, delicious, and it can help you reach your New Year's resolutions. If you got any New Year's resolutions, trying to eat better, trying to learn how to cook, I'm trying to learn how to cook.
Ooh,
and
cooking's dope.
It is. It's a lot more fun than I expected it to be, honestly.
It's rewarding.
It is. I always was the kind of person that was like, I'm not going to do this. It's too much work that I'm just going to eat. But I've grown
Why not
to like
have both?
I've grown to like the process. So if you're trying to learn how to cook, if you're trying to eat better, HelloFresh is very, very great. They sent us a box. They sent us one of them shipment boxes. It's basically like a little refrigerator that they send to you with all the ingredients. They bag them for you. They send you the meat.
Got the dry ice going in there?
No dry ice. HelloFresh sends you ice on the bottom.
Ooh.
Nice little ice packets on the bottom.
Ice on the bottom, so you know it's good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we personally endorse it. It's a great little product. It sends you some nice meals. So if you want to get in on this action, take advantage of HelloFresh's special offer for you guys for 2019. Get $80 off your first month of HelloFresh by going to HelloFresh.com/brunch80. That's brunch80. $80 off your first month by going to HelloFresh.com/brunch80.
Vice makes Dick Cheney look terrible, makes everybody look terrible. I would say that if there's a power rankings of people it makes look terrible, number 1, Donald Rumsfeld.
Yep.
Number 2, I basically, let's just get to this part. I don't know where to place Bush because they make him look just they almost take away blame from him.
Because he's so stupid.
Like if he were tried in court for all of his sins, like you wouldn't be able to convict him based on what they showed in that movie because he was like so stupid.
Yes, they painted him in such a bad light.
It's like in Breaking Bad when Skyler pretends that she accidentally cooked Ted Beneke's books by just being really ditzy, and they're like, we can't try somebody for negligence. Like they make him look like such an idiot. They make a lot of people look like idiots in this movies, but especially.
But they make a lot of people look bad, and they make a lot of people look dumb, but dumb enough. Or smart enough to know like sort of what they're doing. And
well,
what
they
their
make some people
are.
Like they make Cheney look evil.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
like
100%.
They don't make Bush.
I mean, Christian Bale thanked Satan in his Golden Globe speech.
That was great. Yeah,
but they absolutely painted Bush in like the stupidest light that they could have possibly painted him in. And I thought that was probably a little unfair. It's hard to believe that George W. Bush is that fucking stupid.
The fact that both times they were meeting, Bush when he was courting him as his VP. Bush's primary focus was barbecue.
Mm-hmm. It was
like halfway through the first.
He just kept
meeting,
asking.
He asks for ribs, asks if he likes burnt ends, and then the scene where Cheney is telling him, "Hey, how about we do this? You give me the mundane day-to-day things like the military,
like everything."
And he just lists off everything, and they cut to Bush, Sam Rockwell, with a fucking drumstick like falling off his face, and he's like.
They slowed it down. They zoomed in, slowed it down with like the food falling all over his face. I was like, when that happened, I was like, all right, that's a little unnecessary. But you could have painted that. You could have sent the message that this guy's very stupid without making him wear his food on his face.
So this movie is definitely a comedy. Obviously, given the subject matter, as I was watching it, I was like, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to be in the mood for laughing at a lot of these things. And what I can say about it is it gives you permission to laugh later. Like, I chuckled at some parts during the movie, and then there were funny parts that I didn't think, like, oh, that's not funny, but I just didn't really laugh. I don't know. Just because, like, the subject matter is so serious. Like, you're talking about so many fucking people dying, so many Americans dying, and but the presentation, which is, if you've ever seen the Big Short, it's just like that very kind of snappy, witty Adam McKay, I think is his name, style. And as I was watching it, I was like, this is pretty good. And then after I saw it, I was like, no, that was good.
Yeah, I really liked it. Obviously, the reviews are pretty polarizing.
Are they? Why are like right wingers mad?
I would not fucking assume so.
You like Dick Cheney, you're not going to like this movie,
But I honestly think that most critics and most people are either land on one end or the other. Like, there's not a lot of meat. It's not just right-wingers that are like, this wasn't good. I think there's a lot of critics that were like, this just really missed the mark. And I don't know why. I really liked it. Obviously, it certainly had an agenda.
Yeah.
It was very political. It was very
it
dug into
literally
its beliefs.
made a mockery of the Bush administration.
Yeah, and so I really understand why somebody could come away and be like, not for me.
Yeah.
But from my point of view, I thought it was very, 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 very entertaining. I thought that it was very, very creative in the way that it presented the story. Like, so here's what I'll say. Like, this is a really cool, unique way of telling the Dick Cheney story. Whereas if you look at Bohemian Rhapsody, it's a very fucking boring, very paint-by-numbers way of doing a biopic about somebody so fucking interesting.
And this movie admitted when it lied.
Yeah,
this movie admitted it had a narrator, and it would say at parts where it was cloudy, it'd say, now, we're not sure if this is exactly what happened, but something like this happened.
Right. And so, at the end of the day, I was entertained by it, and that's really all I asked for, and I think that it's hard to make like a very interesting, very like thrilling sort of political movie, even when it's that administration where so much shit went down.
Yeah,
like this was a very quick, like you said, very snappy political movie, and a lot of political movies move super slow and sort of drag you through the shit. So for me, not a huge political person, not really. I don't really have strong thoughts on the Bush administration one way or the other.
You were too young.
Yeah. Like I wasn't old enough to really comprehend what was happening with that. So it's probably not a good thing that this movie was like where I learned a lot of things. Because it's being told through like a very, pointed slope or scope.
Well, yeah, I mean, they really beat you over the head with the fact that we had nothing on Iraq. Like, we just wanted to do it. And Donald Rumsfeld, the entire movie, is just obsessed with Iraq. And like when 9/11 happens, he's like, let's go get Iraq. And they're like, well, we don't think that they did it. And I think I forget who he calls like a little bitch, but he's like, 9/11 happens and they're like, here's what's happening, here's the information we know, and he's like, oh, it's Iraq, we got to go after them. And they're like, now this, like, our data shows and our intel shows that this is more something in line with what Al Qaeda would do. And he's like, why do you always have to be such a little bitch about this stuff, man? Why can't we just go get Iraq? So like the dialogue is
you know who Rumsfeld is?
Who?
He's the watch the game guys.
Yeah,
he's I don't care about your fucking fancy stats. I don't care about your analytics.
Right,
watch the fucking game.
I got a gut feeling about this. Yeah, I don't know, like the dialogue is very blasé given what the stakes are. Like when they decide to invade Iraq, they paint it as the American people are confused. They know that we're at war, but they don't know with whom, because there's Al Qaeda and there's the Taliban, and like, are we technically at war with Afghanistan, or what are we doing here? And they were saying that like the American people would feel better about the administration, and like approval ratings would be higher if they knew, oh, here's who we're fighting. So they were like, okay, Iraq time, and there was they took the movie says they took a very, very, very thin link between bin Laden and Saddam Hussein, and then obviously the weapons of mass destruction thing, hyped that up, and then went in there. So I don't know. It's like I said, it portrays them being very, very blasé about like the highest possible stakes things. It definitely draws a strong line between their decisions and the birth of ISIS, which are pretty irrefutable. But yeah, it's I don't know, it's a lot of stuff that you probably know. I didn't know everything that was in it, but it still kind of makes you think. But again, like a day after seeing it, you'll laugh at how some of it was presented, and you'll feel really weird about that.
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot about. I'm assuming the things that I learned were true. I have to just like assume that, I guess, in the areas where they didn't say like, "Hey, we don't know a lot about this." Like,
I don't think that it's true that Dick Cheney used that many vocalized pauses.
Yeah, I didn't know that Dick Cheney had like a fucking office everywhere in D.C. I thought that
I
was
didn't know.
I thought that was like a really interesting part.
So I remembered that SNL's depiction of the Bush administration was like every time Bush did something, he had to call Cheney and ask him, or like Cheney would come into the Oval Office and Bush would get up and let him like sit there because that's Cheney's desk. So like everybody knew that like Cheney was calling a lot of the shots, but it's pretty astonishing that he just had control
of
that
everything.
No other VP had before, and they really set up how unglamorous a job vice president is. How up until then it was kind of a nothing job.
Yeah.
And he just found a way to basically, it was like House of Cards, like he was able to manipulate it so that he could essentially take over the world.
Right, like if that was like a House of Cards season, people would look at that and be like, wow, that's way too unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like nobody would be able to just fucking manipulate their way to the president's desk like Cheney did. And especially with as cartoonish a character as George Bush. I mean, the first time that they show George Bush in this movie, he is drunk off his ass, stumbling into like a plant.
Right, like there's broken glass. They look over and they're like, "Oh, that's the Bush son."
Yeah, and
they call him the black sheep of the family.
Very mean to Jeb Bush in this movie because they're like, "Yeah, Jeb Bush is for sure going to be the next president."
Yeah,
they're like, nah, the younger one's got a screw loose, but Jeb, man, he's really got this in the bag.
Well, Jeb did help George, depending on what you want to believe, in that first election. Funky-ass Florida votes.
That's true.
Something's always going on with Florida.
How'd you feel about the performances?
Right. I was going to say, that's probably the big topic with this one, other than, again, so many people died, was Christian Bale won a Golden Globe for his performance. I thought that he was good, not great.
Damn it.
And it sucks because I feel like this is like...
You're going to get murdered on this one.
This year, I think that so many things are good, not great.
You're going to get murdered on this one because Christian Bale is like going to...
I thought he overdid it like crazy.
No way. I thought that he was unbelievable. Obviously, the prosthetics and the makeup helps.
Yeah.
And obviously, like the weight gain, he'll get credit for that and stuff as well. But I mean, it's
that
not
sucks.
even...
How come they get credit for the weight gain?
I know. It's not even close. It's a runaway win for me for Bale.
That he'll win Best Actor?
Yeah. It's not even close.
I don't know.
If fucking Gary Oldman wins for Winston Churchill in Darkest
Right, no,
Hour.
it's a makeup award. Yeah.
Yeah, but
you know what? Rami Malek look an awful lot like that horse, so maybe he'll win.
Gary Oldman wasn't even fucking good in The Darkest Hour, though.
That was so upsetting.
Frustrating. That was a makeup award. It was a best costume design.
There was such a clear, like Daniel Day-Lewis just like
unbelievable
reinvented acting for me.
Unbelievable in Phantom Thread.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be furious if he won. Like I thought he was good. Like I don't know. I didn't think he was unbelievable. I got annoyed with the vocalized pauses. I thought that he really, really overdid it.
I thought that the way that he spoke and the way that he kind of obviously the way that he looked and like just the speaking was really what got to me.
Yeah, he had like the stern old man thing down.
And he had like the talk out of one side of your mouth thing, which Cheney did. He was really fucking good.
Yeah, again, I feel like when I say that I thought something was good, I feel like I have to defend it as though I said it was bad. Like he was good.
What about what did you think about
I found it a little distracting to eat.
You know what I found distracting?
What?
That Christian Bale's performance and like interpretation of Cheney was so like accurate.
Well, the young Cheney
on.
stuff was weird.
Yeah, that was very weird.
Yeah.
And I also thought that like a lot of the dialogue from the young Cheney stuff was a little bit bland, especially the living room scene with Amy Adams. I know that was like a big part of the movie, and apparently it really happened, but the dialogue there just seemed like very forced and very bland, and it was like just
your classic "prove to me you love me" kind of scene.
Yeah, exactly. So didn't love that. But what'd you think of Carell as Rumsfeld?
I thought that Carell was probably the best of the bunch, but we talked about this after. Poor Steve Carell is just so typecast as Steve Carell that if you hire Steve Carell to play somebody, especially if you're hiring him to play someone who like a real person, then you're just having that character be Steve Carell.
It's so hard to just get past Steve Carell, and I know that's pretty unfair to Steve Carell, but it's very, very hard to look at Steve Carell and not recognize that it's Steve Carell, and especially in a role like this where it's like, hey, be Steve Carell, but as Donald Rumsfeld.
Right. And this is even pre-Michael Scott. Like, when you'd see him in Bruce Almighty or Anchorman, like, he was like the light, funny idiot. And
as soon as they gave him like his first laugh in the movie, I was like, oh no, because nobody laughs like Steve Carell.
Yeah,
it's like,
he's one of a kind.
Yeah, it's like some fucking bold ass laugh, and it's just like that is such an identifiable laugh that it's impossible to watch it and be like, that's not Steve Carell.
I did think Sam Rockwell was great. He definitely had his own portrayal of that character, but seemingly they told everybody, hey, let's play this as offensive as possible.
See, so that's like the thing. It's that Christian Bale's portrayal of Dick Cheney was so spot on, and then like everybody else around him was the most cartoon character that they could have possibly been.
Yeah.
Which was it was a weird dynamic. Where it was like Bale is the only serious person in this movie.
like it's a comedy about some serious stuff, so I think that maybe that's why they had to do it.
That, and also like it helps push the narrative that like Dick Cheney was able to manipulate all of these fucking
these
people.
Guys were boobs.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I get it, but it was just like it was sort of weird to take in.
What are you stamping down on this? Dick Cheney over here.
I know. Here's the thing. I think
I should go to the hospital.
Yes, please. I thought the heart attack scenes were very funny.
Yeah, very funny heart attack scenes.
Very funny.
Credit where credit's due.
Actually, you know what my stamp is going to be? My stamp is going to be show me the goddamn musical number. Because there was a musical number that was supposed to be in this movie, and Adam McKay cut it out because he said that it didn't fit anywhere that he tried to put it in, but that it was maybe his favorite part of the movie, and it broke his heart, and he thinks that he might have made a mistake by not putting it in the movie.
Which it stinks because there was a bedside or there was a bedtime pillow talk Shakespearean kind of scene between Cheney and his wife, and nobody needed that. So I'm like, just even if it has nothing to do with this part of the movie, just drop that in instead of that. That part was terrible.
It just makes me very curious to see how big the musical number is, because McKay said that it was huge, and it fucking had to be if it would, because they did some ridiculous things.
Yeah.
The dinner scene where where Alfred Molina comes out and presents them with like all these methods of torture.
That is straight out of The Big Short.
I haven't seen The Big Short yet, but if that's what it's all about, then I gotta watch The Big Short. I'm gonna love it because I fucking loved that dinner scene.
Oh, when they're talking about something, and they keep repeating like a term or something, and they're like, "Now you're probably wondering what this means." Like they'll turn to the camera, they'll break the fourth wall, be like, "You're probably wondering what this means. It's really confusing, so we're gonna have Margot Robbie in a tub explain it." It cuts to Margot Robbie in a tub, like drinking champagne and explaining it.
Don't hate that.
And then they cut back. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go show me the goddamn musical.
Mine's just gonna be good with an exclamation point.
Wow, pretty boring.
Yeah, I thought the movie was pretty boring. Just kidding. This Beale Street movie. If Beale Street could talk, it is the director of Moonlight's first movie since Moonlight. I'll say right off the top, I preferred it to Moonlight. Moonlight obviously was a Best Picture winner. Shouts out Justin Horowitz.
Sure.
For letting us all know.
Yeah.
Moonlight! It says Moonlight! Stop what you're doing at once!
That was the most over-the-top presentation.
So dramatic. Everybody!
I liked it. I wasn't absolutely crazy about it. I thought that it had a lot of charm. I thought that it had very good character development for certain characters.
Certain
characters, and It was a pretty heartbreaking storytelling.
So unfortunately, it's a movie that relied on the viewer's knowledge of American history to kind of fill in some obvious blanks, and one of them was you knew it wasn't going to have the correct ending. Yeah. So it's a young woman who's trying to get her boyfriend, the father of her unborn child, out of prison for a crime he didn't commit. So a racist cop had it out for this guy, was looking for a rapist, and was like, yeah, it was that guy, threw him in jail, and there was no way they were going to get him out, but they're trying to get him out, and it's just a lot of, obviously, like, civil rights era type stuff. It was slow, but good slow.
It was methodically slow.
Yeah, it was. Yes, that's a very good way of putting it. And it was told in, I don't know how to describe this, but it
vignettes.
Yeah, is that it?
Yeah,
really?
I think so.
Where it's like now then, now then, now then, now then, now then.
Sort of. Wait, in which way?
Where they'd show a scene from present day, and they would show a scene from months earlier, and then they'd show another scene from present. Yeah, but like both got equal time though.
Yeah, so I mean,
two stories were kind of told at the same time.
Yeah.
So like the present and the past were told. I'm so glad that there's definitely a term for this, and people are listening and pulling their hair out. Let's make up a term for it.
Double
linear.
Yo-yoing.
It was told in a yo-yoing double linear fashion, which is like fashion, but theorem.
Yes. One thing that about this movie, I was very distracted by how much the main character, Fawny?
Fawny, yeah.
How much he looked like Kid Cudi.
Ooh. Yeah, a bit. Like, similar jaw.
I think it might have been like the facial hair. He like the bad beard sort of, and I don't know. He looked a lot like Kid Cudi at certain points, but I thought that all the acting was really good in this.
Yeah. We've got. So we were discussing Best Actress is going to be a humdinger this year. Look out, supporting actress, because Regina King was like
she won
this movie. She won the Golden Globe, which. Man.
At least they got some things right.
Right, the Golden Globes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what stinks, because I want to be like, hell yeah, good for Regina King. Like good for Christian Bale. But then, Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, I haven't really organized my thoughts on a lot of the supporting noms or supporting candidates, but Regina King was awesome.
Yeah, she was really, really, really great.
And this is a big year because we do not have Octavia Spencer scamming her way into another. Like, Octavia Spencer, if you're a new listener to the podcast, Octavia Spencer is like a top 10 actress who refuses to go load up with other superstars. She just wants to dunk on everybody by being a supporting actress, when if she could easily have like 2 best actresses by now, and she's just dunking on everybody in the in JV.
Yeah, I think this year she might have just taken a year off.
Right, she's
just reloading.
Well, some years she's you're like, man, she could have been nominated for a couple of these.
I mean, this year it seems like this year it seems like it's wide open, but there are a lot of good candidates.
What else? For the girl from The Favorite.
Yeah.
She was really good. Would you consider the Queen to be lead actress or supporting actress?
I would say supporting actress.
I would say too, but didn't she win? She won Best Actress at Golden Globes.
Yeah, but those sort of movies are always fucking tough.
Right,
they get like equal time.
What's Mark Ruffalo won Best Supporting Actor for Spotlight, and I was like, whoa! Yeah. Like the whole movie is him.
Yeah, I know. But I guess I say the Queen is a supporting actress because Emma Stone is clearly the star of that movie.
Same, I agree. So you've got the Queen, you've got the other girl, the lady, whatever her name is, but she plays a...
I would be surprised if both of them did not get nominated.
Nice. And then Regina King, which, I don't know, that'd be pretty funny if both King and the Queen were nominated.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And they could also put in Lucy Boynton to have somebody else
Probably
from
not.
the Bad Queen movie. Probably not Lucy Boynton. Maybe do some better movies. You crush it in Sing Street. Why don't we get back on that train?
Always love you.
Maybe do a Sing Street sequel. Don't do Bohemian Rhapsody again. But yeah, I liked this movie a lot more than everybody else did, and I think it made a very good first impression on me because it has one of the best scenes of the year, which is a very long scene in the beginning of the movie where they tell her boyfriend's family, her boyfriend's in prison, and they're telling his family that they're pregnant. Mm-hmm. And that family is all over the place. So so her family is very supportive and they're happy about it. And the other family is crazy mom, like huge Bible thumper, party animal dad. Unfortunately, you kind of know how the scene's going to end. And it's...
Yeah, that was
the scene runs the gamut though. Like, he does something terrible in the scene, but before that, he's got some funny lines and everything because like there's just so much tension. And
as soon as it builds up to like the climax of that scene, I was like, "Oh, damn it!" Because he was so easily like the person to root for in that family,
right?
Where everybody else is just the
They're
worst.
So stern and like he's drunk, so it's like you all clearly have problems here, but at least you're being supportive of like your son and this young woman. But yeah, like I thought that everybody in that scene was great. There were a lot of funny lines when they say something about, I forget which they say like I forget what they say, but the comeback is that's because nobody want to fuck you.
Yeah, there's a lot of vagina talk and a lot of use of the C word.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this caught me off guard.
But do you agree that scene was that scene kind of like was the movie?
There were two scenes that really like stood out to me. It was that scene and the scene with the friend.
Yes, when they're sharing a cigarette. Yeah, or sharing cigarettes, I suppose. Each having their own splitsies.
Brian Tyree Henry
is Fonny or the friend?
The friend.
Yeah.
And I thought that he was really good.
If there was a best actor who's in no more than 10 minutes of a movie, I would nominate him.
Yeah, or him and...
Dave Franco.
Yeah, Dave Franco's in this movie. I didn't know that at all.
Dave Franco plays a little Jewish realtor man.
Little nice, non-racist Jewish realtor person.
It's so... Man, like... So I said that it kind of... You obviously have to kind of know American history to understand some of these situations, but obviously, for better or worse, we do. He's renting them a loft, and Fonny says, "How come you're comfortable? How come you're being nice to us? How come you're comfortable renting this loft? Normally, when people see us show up, they say never mind and they lie, blah blah." And he says, he said it's something like I love love or something like that. Like I love people who love each other. And he's like, "Oh, so you're a hippie." It's so sad that for you, if you were like not racist, they were like, "Oh, so you must be a hippie or something."
Yeah, the hippie was the original liberal.
Right. Just like like you're just doing like the normal nice
like you
not
care
even
about
nice,
people.
just like decent, obvious thing. They're like, "Oh, so you must smoke a lot of marijuana and upset everybody."
Yeah, you must be on drugs. I would put Brian Tyree Henry or Denzel's son. Denzel's son is in the The Old Man and the Gun, I think.
Really? Who's Denzel Washington's son?
The guy from BlacKkKlansman?
That yeah, I know.
David Washington?
John David Washington.
John David Washington, yeah.
That's Denzel's son?
Yeah.
Yeah, John David Washington. No, I don't see it.
Like, it's a fact, man.
But it's like I think that he's pretty handsome, but like that's some Cooper Manning stuff right there. Just Denzel is, and that's not to suggest that Peyton and Eli are handsome. I'm saying that Peyton and Eli were both good football players. Cooper was not. Denzel,
but yeah, John David
is breathtaking.
Yeah. John David Washington's in like the old man and the gun for probably 45 seconds.
Who does he play?
He just plays like another cop, and he has like 2 lines.
So let's stamp this Beale Street.
What am I gonna say? Oh man, I should really come up with my stamps beforehand so I don't have to do this every time. Oh, I will say it is a. I'll say good aesthetic because I love the aesthetic of this movie.
So I was going to. I don't know how to put it into words, but basically, you don't stop watching it. Like it's like it keeps your
you
like
can't
you don't
look away.
Yeah, you don't check your phone.
That is 100% true. This was a movie that kept my attention 100%.
Yeah, that's my. You'll never check your phone.
Okay. Yeah, it relentlessly keeps your attention.
Isn't that the that's the soccer thing, right?
What?
You'll never check your phone.
Oh, right, yeah, because I mean that's not true for me. There's a lot of time to check your phone in soccer.
You'll never check your phone. Is that Manchester United?
Yes, that's what they chant in the stands.
Yeah. Did we talk about Black Klansman?
No,
because he's good in that.
He's unbelievable.
I really liked Black Klansman.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That would for sure sneak into my very good category.
Yes, same. I feel I've got like a pretty thick, very good category, and I want to kick some out because I don't want those to be watered down. Like I think that Black Klansman's better than A Star Is Born, and I want to draw that line.
Pretty close to me. Yeah, we'll throw. We should definitely like how you did the Taylor Swift songs and Tears.
Yeah,
let's do Oscar noms and Tears.
And I'm gonna start seeing. Some again as they come out on demand and everything. So to get a little clarity, maybe we'll have like big boards, shuffle them around.
Hell yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, you know what idea I like?
What?
Father John Misty karaoke.
Hold me close, it's tiny dancer. Yeah, got the headlights on the highway. Yeah, lay me down in sheets of linen. I love you, random person. You hold the busy day to day. Oh, instrumental. Blue jean baby, LA lady. Oh, she's a seamstress for the band. I wish my band had a seamstress. Pretty eyed, pirate smile. Too bad you'll marry a music man. Oh, ballerina, you must have seen her dancing in the sand. Oh, and now she's in me. How does that work? Always with me. Tiny dancer in my head. Tiny dancer. Oh, I like your one piece. I like your one piece too. But how it feels so real, lying here and no one near but only you. And you can hear me, and I say softly, oh, slowly, oh, hold me closer, tiny dancer. Got the headlights on the highway, I'm playing my nipples, lay me down in sheets of linen. Oh, you had a busy day. got my brand new C car. Oh, yeah!
Give it up for Misty, making great use of the staircase. And somebody get him a nitrogen foamy martini, quick. And the tiny dancer, where did he go? Playing lead nipple. That was great.